Please state your name.
Ginger Plourde.
We're going to talk about Desert Storm. How old were you when this happened?
I was about 19, almost 20. It happened in August of 1990, and it ended about a year or so later.
Did you have any friends that were involved or family members?
Actually, I had a lot of friends that were three that were relatively close to me in high school. One of them was my best friend's brother, Norman Springer, Herbie Robles, and Denzel Chambers. Were just a few that I knew of from high school. I know there was a lot more, but can't really think of a lot of them. And then our neighbors that lived next door, they were drafted. They were sent in. Their unit was called to go over to England and set up base station there. And of course, both of them were sent. So my parents agreed to take their daughters and have them come live with us for the year while they were gone. Through the whole thing. I mean, it was hard for the girls. It was hard for all of us, but knew that it was something that had to be done because you can't go against the government. You got to do what they tell you. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and matter of fact, one of my friends, actually I should say two of my friends that went, Herbie's tanker was blown. Thank God he didn't get severely hurt, but he did get injured, and he was sent back home to the hospital to recover. My friend Norman, one of his friends, was shot right beside him, and I guess he got grazed by a bullet, and to this day he suffers from post-traumatic stress because of being over there. So.
Oh, and they're all still alive today?
Yes, all three of them are alive, and I believe as far as other high school members, I believe they are as well.
What about your neighbors? Did they make it?
Yes, they are alive as well too, and they're back living in the old house next door and doing perfectly fine and growing old together.
Why do you think the Desert Storm happened?
A lot of people happen to say it had to do a lot with politics and stuff and governmental issues, but we all know that it had a lot to do with the oil. The minute that we went over there, that was the minute they started burning off the oil refineries and stuff. My friend Norman, when he came home, all he could talk about was breathing in the thick black air. It was just blackness from them burning off the oil stacks and everything. He said it was just constant blackness, constant nighttime, the whole time being there. Even now to this day, he has problems with his breathing and stuff because of them burning off the oil and stuff over there. So yeah, it was definitely because of that. A lot of people sit there and argue that that's not the reasons why, but yeah, it was.
Who was all involved in Desert Storm?
Oh gosh, I believe it was Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Iraq. I believe Iraq did have a part of it. I know that we were based and stationed in Saudi Arabia, and then took it on from there into Kuwait, I believe. Not 100% positive on it, but I believe those are the three countries.
Do you think it was right for us to get involved in it?
At first, I didn't think that it really was, but for the fact that Saddam Hussein was, causing threats and stuff too, and threatening to stop the oil and stuff like that, and he was crazy, just as bad as bin Laden. And I seriously think that when we first went in there, we should have gone in there and taken him out. We wouldn't have had the problems that we had continued on even now with bin Laden, with the issues that we have that happened with 9/11. I still say, and I still think today, that Saddam Hussein had a lot to do with 9/11 along with bin Laden. But yeah, I do believe now that we have the right to go in and do what we did, to take control of the oil refineries, and even though it still didn't help with oil prices or gas prices to this day, I mean, they're still jacked up and we still have problems with it. Maybe someday it will work out, but I'm just glad the fact that we got Saddam Hussein and that's been taken care of, and got bin Laden, and hopefully we can catch the others too and get all this stuff to an end.
If you were Bush or could have talked to Bush at the time, would you have told him to go after Hussein?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. He was an idiot to tell us not to at first. I sorry, but I don't particularly care for either one of the Bushes, but even though they were our president, yeah, definitely. We should have gone in head bore, gotten Saddam Hussein right off the bat, and the same with now with this war here. We should have gone right in right off the bat to get bin Laden, you know. But we got to do what our president happens to tell us to do, and they held back. And because of holding back, you know, a lot of people were killed and injured, and you know, one gentleman that I can remember when I was working during Desert Storm was a prisoner of war. I mean, was beaten severely. I want to say his last name was Zaun, Z-A-U-N, and he was from I believe he's from the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, and he was prisoner of war at the time. There was quite a few that were prisoner of war, and because of us sitting back, you know, they got hurt, and like my friend Norman, a lot of them now are suffering because of it.
Yeah. Did you know that when we did the whole airstrike above, that we ended up killing more of our troops than the enemy actually killed?
Yes, we
If
had.
you had known that was going to happen, would you have stopped the airstrike, or would have continued with it?
I don't know. I mean, that is kind of a hard thing to kind of debate on, because no matter what, when you have an airstrike, sometimes you're going to have friendly fire. You know, you're going to end up hitting your own sometime. The fact that it happened a little bit too much, I probably would have said, hey, wait, you know, double check on this. You know, make sure that, yeah, it's definitely the enemy that we're shooting at, and not our own friendly fires. You know, I can't say as far as now. I mean, I was young when this all happened, and it kind of happened all quickly too, so I just don't remember the whole details, but I do remember them saying that we lost a lot of our own men and women over there because of our own stupidities.
All right, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.